A lossy transmission line has resistance per unit length R equal to 0.05 ohm per meter. The line is distortionless and characteristic impedance of 50 ohms. The attenuation constant in Nepper per meter correct to 3 decimal places of the line is. Okay. So here they have given the line is what here? The line is distortionless. So the line is distortionless. Okay, so for a distortionless transmission line, we know that the characteristic impedance, Z0 is equal to what? Z0 is equal to root over L by C. Z0 is equal to root over L by C. Okay, and they have given the resistance per unit length as what here? Resistance per unit length, the expression for resistance per unit length for a distortionless transmission line, R is equal to what? R Z0 equal to root over L by C, and they have given the resistance per unit length. R is equal to 0.05 ohm per meter. 0.05 ohm per meter. Okay, and they have given the characteristic impedance. This characteristic impedance value they have given as what? They have given as 50 ohms. Okay, and they are asking to determine what? They are asking to determine the attenuation constant in Nepper per meter. So they have given a distortionless line. For a distortionless line, the characteristic impedance is root over L by C, which is equal to what? They have given this as 50 ohms, and the resistance they have given as 0.05 ohm per meter, and they are asking to determine what? Attenuation constant in Nepper per meter. So we know the expression for attenuation constant for a distortionless transmission line, that is alpha is equal to what? Alpha is equal to root over R into root over C by L. Alpha is equal to R into root over C by L. So this is equal to, I can write it as what? R by Z0. So they have given R value as 0.05 and Z0 value as 50. So so what you are going to get here? You are going to get 10 to the power of minus 3. So that is equal to 0.001 Nepper per meter. 0.001 Nepper per meter. Okay. So this is the correct answer. Understood? So this is the end of this question. The cutoff frequency of TE01 mode of an air-filled rectangular waveguide having inner dimensions A centimeters into B centimeters, where A is greater than B, is twice that of the dominant mode TE10 mode. When the waveguide is operated at a frequency which is 25% higher than the cutoff frequency of the dominant mode, the guided wavelength is found to be 4 centimeters. Then the value of B in centimeters correct to 2 decimal places is. Okay. So here they have given the cutoff frequency of TE01 mode of an air-filled rectangular waveguide having inner dimensions is twice that of what? Is twice that of the dominant mode. So that means the cutoff frequency of TE01 mode, so that is FC01 is equal to what? Is equal to twice that of what? Twice that of FC10. So we know the expression for FC01, so that is C by 2B is equal to what? 2 into C by 2A. C by 2A. So here C will get cancelled, 2 will get cancelled. So from here you are going to get A by B ratio is equal to what here? A by B ratio you are going to get is equal to 2. So let us consider this as equation 1. Okay. So that is the one conclusion we got. Next is twice that of the dominant mode. Then when the waveguide is operated at a frequency which is 25% higher than the cutoff frequency of the dominant mode. Okay. When the waveguide is operated at a frequency which is 25% higher than the cutoff frequency of the dominant mode, So when the waveguide is operated, that means they have given the operating frequency. The operating frequency is equal to what? Is 25% higher than the cutoff frequency of the dominant mode. So 25% greater than 25% higher than cutoff frequency means I can cutoff frequency of dominant mode means I can write it as what? 1.25 FC10. Yes or no? So this is the operating frequency. Operating frequency they have given as equal to 25% greater than FC10, that is dominant mode. So that I can write it as 1.25 into FC10. So from here I'll get FC10 by F. FC10 by F is equal to 1 by 1.25. 1 by 1.25. And also they have given that the guided wavelength is 4 centimeters. So the guided wavelength of the dominant mode, for the dominant mode, they have given as what here? They have given as 4 centimeters. They have given as 4 centimeters. So now we know that the guided wavelength, the formula for guided wavelength, we know that this is equal to what? This is equal to lambda by root over 1 minus FC10 by F, FC10 by F whole square, FC10 by F whole square. So therefore here lambda z is 4 centimeters. Okay, so lambda z is 4 centimeters. So I am sending this term to this side. So that is square root of 1 minus FC10 by F is nothing but what? 1 by 1.25. 1 by 1.25 whole square is equal to what? Is equal to lambda. Is equal to lambda. So here you are going to get, here this one is 4 centimeters and this one here 1 by 1.25. 1 by 1.25 you are going to get 0.8 here. So 0.8 square is how much here? 0.8 square is 0.64. 1 minus 0.64 is 0.36 under root 0.36 under root is nothing but what? 0.6. You are going to get 0.6. This is equal to lambda. So therefore lambda is equal to how much here? 2.4 centimeters. So we got lambda value is equal to 2.4 centimeters. Okay. Now here, if from this expression, okay, so from this expression, how I can write this expression here in terms of lambda? We know that lambda is equal to what? C by F. So F is equal to what? F is equal to C by lambda. So FC01, I can write it as what here? I can write it as okay. So from this expression here, see from this expression, okay, so I can write F is equal to 1.25 FC10. So here F I can write it as what here? I can write it as C by lambda. So this is equal to 1.25 into FC10. So FC10 is nothing but what? C by 2A. C by 2A. So here CC will get cancelled. CC will get cancelled. Therefore lambda is equal to, you are going to get 2A by, lambda is equal to 2A by 1.25. So from here you can calculate the value of A. So A is equal to 1.25 into lambda divided by 2. So that is 1.25 into lambda is 2.4 into 2.4 divided by 2. So if you do this, you are going to get 1.5. You are going to get 1.5. Okay. So that is A value. A value is 1.5. Okay, so from this expression we know that A by B is equal to what? A by B is equal to 2. A by B is equal to 2. Therefore B is equal to what? B is equal to A by 2. So that is 1.5 by 2. So if you do this, you are going to get 0.75 centimeters. You are going to get 0.75 centimeters. So here also this is 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so the value of B is 0.75 centimeters. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so this is the end of this question. The distance in meters a wave has to propagate in a medium having a skin depth of 0.1 meters so that the amplitude of the wave attenuates by 20 dB is. Okay. So here they have given they have given that the distance a wave has to propagate in a medium having a skin depth of 0.1 meters. So they have given skin depth. They have given skin depth. Delta is equal to what? Delta is equal to 0.1 meters. And we know that delta is equal to what? Delta is equal to 1 by alpha meters, 1 by alpha meters. Okay. So the amplitude of the wave attenuates by 20 dB. See, we know that if suppose the wave has traveled z meters, then the overall attenuation over z meters, I can write it as what? Alpha z. So alpha z will be always expressed in terms of what? In Nepers. So this represents the attenuation of the wave, over z meters. The attenuation of the wave over z meters. So it is always expressed in terms of what? Here, Nepers. But they have given the attenuation. In terms of what? In terms of dB. So you have to convert this attenuation. Into what? Into Nepers. Okay, you have to convert this dB into Nepers. So once you convert this dB into Nepers, then you can equate this to alpha z. Okay, so we know that 1 Nepper is equal to what? Is equal to 8.68 dB. 1 Nepper is equal to 8.68 dB. Therefore 1 dB is equal to 1 by 8.68 Neppers. 1 by 8.68 Neppers. Therefore 20 dB in Neppers is equal to what? Is equal to 20 by 8.68. Okay, so this is equal to you are going to get 2.3. You are going to get 2.3 Neppers. So therefore 20 dB you can represent it as what? Yeah, 2.3 Neppers. So this is the overall attenuation. Over z meters. So therefore now you can equate alpha z in Neppers. Is equal to what? Is equal to 2.3 Neppers. So they have given in terms of Neppers. Okay, 2.3 Neppers. So therefore z, they are asking how much distance it has traveled. So that is z is equal to 2.3 by alpha. So 1 by alpha is nothing but what? Delta. So I can write this as 2.3 into delta. So this is equal to 2.3 into 0.1, which is equal to 0.23 meters. So this is the distance it is going to travel before it gets attenuated by what? Attenuated by 20 dB. Understood? And hence the correct option is option B. So for this question the correct option is option B. Okay, so this is the end of this question. A uniform plane wave traveling in free space and having an electric field E bar equal to root 2 AX cap minus AZ cap into cos of 6 root 3 pi into 10 to the power of 8t minus 2 pi into x plus root 2 z volt per meter is incident on a dielectric medium of relative permittivity greater than 1 and relative permeability is equal to 1 as shown in the figure, and there is no reflected wave. Then the relative permittivity correct to 2 decimals of the dielectric medium is. Okay, so here here they have given this diagram. So this is x-axis, this is z-axis. So this is the dielectric medium. So for this medium they have given mu is equal to mu naught. So that is mu r is equal to what? Mu r is equal to 1. And you have to determine what? You have to determine epsilon r. Of this medium. Okay, and they have said that whenever the wave is propagating in free space. So it is going to incident at some angle. Yes or no? See, now this becomes what? This becomes the interface. And this is medium 1, and this is medium 2. Let us consider this as medium 2. Okay, and this medium is what? This medium they have given as free space, and this is some dielectric medium. So the wave is incident on this interface. Such that there will be no reflected wave. So there is no reflected wave. There is no reflected wave. So there is no reflected wave means the wave has to incident. The wave has to incident at an Brewster's angle. At an Brewster's angle. So whenever the wave is incident, at an Brewster's angle, then only there will be no reflected wave. Okay, so in the question they have given there is no reflected wave means the angle of incidence is what here? Brewster's angle. The angle of incidence is Brewster's angle. Okay, so the wave is propagating like this. So the wave vector is going to point like this. The wave vector is going to point like this. Okay, now they have given the electric field. So this is the wave vector here. This is the wave vector. So that is beta. Okay, so I can resolve this wave vector. Wave vector will always points along the direction of propagation. So I can resolve this wave vector into two components. One is along x and another one is along what? Another one is along z. This angle is nothing but what? This angle is nothing but theta b. So the angle here is theta b. The angle between this line and this line is also theta b. Understood? So in the problem they have given the electric field. E bar is equal to what? Root 2 ax cap minus az cap into what? Into cos of 6 root 3 pi into 10 to the power of 8 t minus 2 pi into x plus root 2 into z volt per meter. Okay, so here we have to identify from the expression, the beta x and beta z components. So here 2 pi into x represents what here? Beta x, and this 2 pi into root 2 represents what here? Beta z. So from the given expression we can say beta x is equal to 2 pi and beta z is equal to 2 pi into root 2. Okay, see we know this expression here. It is like omega t minus of beta x into x plus beta z into z. Understood? Okay, so by comparing with this we can say beta x is equal to 2 pi and beta z is equal to what? Beta z is equal to 2 pi root 2. Understood? So here from this diagram what is beta x here? So beta x is equal to what? Beta x is equal to, I can write it as beta into cos theta b, and here beta z is equal to what? Beta z is equal to beta sin theta b. So therefore what is beta z by beta x here? Is equal to what? Beta z by beta x is equal to tan theta b. So here we are having beta z and beta x values. Substitute that. What you are going to get? You are going to get 2 pi root 2 divided by what? Divided by 2 pi. So 2 pi will get cancelled. So therefore we will get tan theta b is equal to root 2. And we know the formula for Brewster's angle. Yes or no? So what is the formula for Brewster's angle here? Theta b is equal to what? Theta b is equal to tan inverse of root over epsilon r2 by epsilon r1. So from here I can say tan theta b is equal to what? Root over epsilon r2 by epsilon r1. But here we got tan theta b is equal to what? Root 2. So substitute here root 2. Tan theta b is equal to root 2. So this is equal to root over epsilon r2 by epsilon r1. That is the relative permittivity of medium 1. That is for free space. For free space relative permittivity is equal to 1. So therefore from here we will get epsilon r2 is equal to what? Is equal to 2. So that means here for this medium the relative permittivity is equal to what? Is equal to 2, and hence the answer for this question is 2. Okay, so with this we have completed this question. This is the end of this solution. Okay.